Hi, everyone, and welcome to our episode 4 for this management plan capacity building. And this time around, we're getting nicely into the nitty-gritties and we're looking at the strategic management framework. So this is really where we're going to pick out what is relevant to your reserve, fine-tune your vision and your purpose and your objectives, and then what is it that you actually want to address in your management for your nature reserve? What are then your actions you're going to do, and what will the annual plan of operation look like? So just another reminder. So here we are sitting on section 3A, looking at the strategic management and framework. And then again, just a reminder of these key performance areas. And this is what we're going to delve in really nicely today and take out what is not relevant to you and keep in what is relevant to you. So let me share again my wonderful Word document. Okay, sorry that took longer than I thought. Again, what you can see is a nice shortened version of what this would look like, a nice little extraction of the chapter. And you might see these tables and think, oh my goodness, what does that all mean? But again, there are sections and there are rows that are not relevant to you, and you are more than welcome to take them out. So if we just zoom in, again, we've just got that cover image. So in your strategic management plan, what we are really wanting to do is fine-tune what is that purpose for why was this particular site declared as a nature reserve. Was it because, for example, the threatened and rare species, is it because it possibly provides protection to those ecosystems and preserves the ecological integrity? It possibly could benefit the appropriate nature-based economic activities. So what we've done and highlighted in green is an example of what you could say for the purpose. And the vision, we really encourage landowners to make this your own. What is the vision you see for this site? So for example, the vision we have here is in the future, the private nature reserve will be an optimally functioning ecosystem where all threats are mitigated and the nature reserve is able to generate sufficient revenue through ecotourism to fund its own management costs. So that speaks quite nicely to what might be the vision for that particular site. What is it for you? Is it keeping those ecosystems intact? Maybe the ecotourism isn't part of your management, it's not part of your vision. So again, we are looking at these key performance areas and what is relevant. So you're going to be so sick of these by the time we're done with this. But here we go. Each one of these is represented by a row in the tables you will see below. So when I say if there's no rehabilitation restoration necessary on your site, you are more than welcome to delete that row out of the KPA1. If there's only one of these, maybe only recreation and tourism is in the sustainable utilization of natural resources, you can delete the other two. But if none of those, delete that entire KPA2 if none of those are relevant to your site. And the same goes for the socioeconomic and heritage. But in general, there'll be a couple of these and maybe one or two of those is a rough idea of what it would be. Then the management authority effectiveness and sustainability, these are generally what these will be what will stay, and it just ensures there's legal compliance, employee skills and development that might be appropriate to you if you employ people, the management infrastructure, are the pumps needing to be serviced, maybe the gates, signage and access, and then research and management knowledge. So these are quite nice, and as you'll see, we've got the objective, then we've got the objective statement, and then the key deliverables. So what is it that is a deliverable for that certain objective? And you also are encouraged, if these don't fit exactly with what you might have on your reserve, please feel free to alter. If it's not quite capturing what you are doing, you're so welcome to make it your own and edit as you go. This is just a general understanding and could cover most of the bases, but again, we want you to make it your own. So again, please delete the rows that are not relevant to your site. And you'll also see this goes right down to the legal and the last KPA number 4. Then this goes really nicely with what we have as the annual plan of operations. So as you can see, so this is an Excel spreadsheet, and this is basically what can be used to capture what has been done in the year and what you're planning to achieve in the next year. And this would make up that annual plan of operation, which would be handed in to Cape Nature as that review process. And so it really is a bit of a tick and cross exercise. Of course, depending on what KPA you've chosen and the relevant objectives and actions, it does require a bit of thought, as in what is the time frame, who is responsible for it? Is it the management authority? Is it maybe partners in the landscape? Has it had progress? So in that year, what progress has been made? Maybe it's been completed, maybe it hasn't been started. That's totally okay. What action is then required? What is the target of that particular action? And what is the budget that you're willing to allocate for that target? So each of those go through it, and it does require a bit of applying yourself and giving it a bit of thought as to what makes sense for you on your site, on your nature reserve. We don't want to put something on your table that you are not willing to do or don't have the capacity to follow through with it. So it's something to bear in mind, and possibly if it's something you'd like to achieve, you don't have the finances, but maybe there's another way to access those finances. So it's not saying don't put it in here. If you'd like to achieve it on your nature reserve, include it, and then it just makes field officers, partners aware of where that help is needed in the landscape, really. So that is a bit of an introduction as to what that all entails. I hope that was really helpful, and I hope you're finding these interesting. And get busy making your management plan your own. Enjoy. Bye.